Welcome back, folks. So I'm headed to my friend's house. He lives here in NRI complex. I'm gonna catch up with him, and then we'll be going to the Royal Enfield showroom to test ride the new shotgun and Himalayan. Let's see how that goes. Looking forward to catching up with him. It's been a while, yeah. He has a Super Meteor himself, so it's quite the looker. What's up? क्या बात है यार, लवली यार, धो लिया कर कभी भाई.
अरे यार मैं अभी just
So he didn't do it today morning?
I don't think so.
Asshole. He doesn't understand how expensive it is. लवली यार, क्या साउंड है यार, दूर से ही. हाँ, लव इट. चलो लेट्स गो, है ना. से हाय. I'll put you in the video, right? You wanna be in it? चलो. Man, that sweet sound of the parallel twin, यार. अब ये रुकेगा भी नहीं मेरे लिए. हाँ भाई, तुम्हारे बाप का ही रोड है यार.
कौन है ये लोग, कहाँ से आते हैं ये?
Very chapris on a Duke with a crazy exhaust, no helmet, open shirt. Wow, he's taken a U-turn. The Chhapri's taken a U-turn and gone this way. क्या कर रहा है भाई, ध्यान देना रोड पे. God. Yeah, U-turns are pretty easy. Yeah. Right? Okay, powerful bike, man. Power is really good. Especially because the weight is lower than the Super Meteor. Feels a lot more quicker. Sorry.
This was interesting.
Yeah. Cool, man.
But I would still say comfort-wise.
That no. Alright, now see the Himalayan. It's phenomenal, dude, in terms of the comfort.
I would say this is. I'm still just not used to it.
Yeah. And now I felt the clutch, the play was too little. Like, it's as soon as you're 1 mm away, it's starting to power off.
And the gear shift also is really delicate.
Yeah. See, this is the Himalayan.
I really like the new look for it.
Yeah, man. So good.
This color.
Yeah, if I get it, I'm getting this.
This color.
Yeah, 100% this color.
Great.
एक दिन हमारी भी ऐसे पैक हो गई.
हमारी आई थी पैक होके।
है?
हाँ वो इधर से ही ली थी ना।
हाँ अच्छा, यू मीन दैट वन? नहीं नहीं, आई एम सेइंग इस बार हिमालयन आएगी। साले तूने तो बुलाया भी नहीं मेरे को डिलीवरी के लिए।
Bro, I got to know the delivery half an hour ago. I went, I took it, and then they were like, "Come back tomorrow for the number plate." And then they called me again, and then they're like, "Yeah, okay, it's fine. You can take your number plate. Come back." I went home. I came back, and then I went back home. Ooh.
Come, come. No, no, come, come, come. The ground clearance has suddenly become, I mean, the height has gone like halfway down, man.
Don't shoot. I will fall.
Dude, hold me tight. I need to show you the power.
Look, my ass is half out. Barely on the feet.
This handlebar is bent a little, yeah. Crazy power, yeah.
Very interesting bike.
Yeah, man.
I'll say definitely I'm not used to that.
Riding triangle is a bit weird.
For adventure, shouldn't it be a little more ahead?
The feet, no?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because aren't you standing on those bikes?
I don't know, man. What they tried to do.
You can still stand on these bikes, but you'll be really behind. You'll be like this.
Yeah. That's why all the people who have bought it have put handlebar risers to get that correct positioning. Oh man, sweating like mad. The cool air feels awesome. I mean, the air is not cool, but there's wind, right? Rode the Himalayan, man. Test rode the Himalayan. Really fantastic motorcycle, yeah, fantastic. The first thing but I noticed is that compared to a Japanese machine, it's a lot more noisy in terms of the engine clatter, mechanical clatter, and in general the whole sound is a bit more mechanical than this. Like, this is ultra smooth. But yeah, compared to other machines, like, you know, I've ridden the KTM Adventure 390 and all these adventure bikes, it's comparatively a lot more smooth. And love the power delivery, yeah. Absolutely perfect. gives you the power when you need it and stays humble when you don't. I really I really like that part, unlike the KTM where the power is just always there, and I don't know, for some reason that doesn't inspire a lot of confidence. And by nature I'm quite a slow rider. I don't really try to push the bike through anything. But suspensions, dude, suspension is phenomenal. I think it has a Showa forks and Öhlins monoshock at the rear. I think as a front it has a 43 telescopic sorry, not telescoping, it has a upside down fork. It's crazy. 200 clearance I think on the front and the back, which is plenty. It'll do all the off-road you wanted to do. But there's obviously a huge weight difference between these two motorcycles. Even though there's not a technical weight difference, like the CB350 is 180 kilos and that is 196. So it might seem like 16 kilos doesn't make that much of a difference, but the engineering is a lot more different. Like to pick that off the stand, even though it's just 16 kilos more, is a lot more difficult because of the incline they've placed the bike at. So it's like if this bike falls at incline here, that falls here, so that makes the whole task of lifting the bike a bit cumbersome. But anyway, that can be fixed, I think, if you just weld some like an inch of metal below the stand. That should do the trick. Pretty good bike, yeah. Hopefully I get one. I'm looking to purchase one in the near future. Let's see, if I narrow it down to the Himalayan, we might just get that. You guys will have a new, absolutely brand spanking new setup to look at. And we'll have a few options to ride every day. We can either ride on this, that, whatever we feel like. Both have their own pros and cons for sure. But as a city bike, definitely this soars way higher than that. But as an overall one bike garage, that is way more superior. Like, this is not a do-it-all bike, the CB350, but that is a do-it-all bike. You can commute, you can go off-road, you can tour, you can do all of it. So as a one bike garage, that's literally the most perfect motorcycle you can get. The suspension difference is quite clear, yeah, because that was just absorbing it way too well. Any bumps, any ondulations, any weird things on the road, all of it just absorbed. I think if there's one huge USP of that bike, it is definitely the suspension. Another thing I did appreciate is the overtakes here. Like in this, I have to plan out my overtakes. Like if I want to overtake the vehicle in front of me, I have to think about it and give the acceleration appropriately. But in that, all I have to do is think it, and as soon as I twist my throttle, I know I'll be ahead of it. That could be because of the ride-by-wire, but obviously a lot of credit goes to the spec numbers, man. That's like almost 40 brake horsepower and 40 Newton meters of torque. So that's basically double. The CB350 has around 21 brake horsepower and it has 30 Newton meter torque. So yeah, there's definitely a difference in the numbers. So it's bound to have that response when you give it the gas. I noticed a lot more small things, like the girth of the handlebar, that was very comfortable, and a lot of features here and there that that seemed extremely sensible on Royal Enfield's part. So I will mention those in some other video. I think now it's a bit late. I'll be reaching home by 8. It's 8:30 right now, so I will be pretty late. I had to make time for this. I wanted to meet Vikram also. I wanted to go on a ride also. So after office, I just decided, let's hit the road. A huge shout out to Royal Enfield also. Yeah, what fantastic customer service, man. Even though their shop closes by 7:30, we reached there at 7:45. They arranged for the bikes for us, gave us water, and let us take the bikes out for a spin. I really appreciate that. If that was any other brand, Honda or anyone, they would just tell you to show off and come the next day. Kudos, man. Really good customer service. I almost forgot to talk about the shotgun. Yeah, like the Himalayan just impressed me so damn much that I forgot I've even ridden the shotgun. See, the thing is that didn't surprise me much because I've ridden the Super Meteor plenty. So it's extremely similar. It is different in some key areas, but overall, you're very similar in terms of the styling, power delivery and all that. But yeah, something I do want to appreciate is the quality level. Yeah, Super Meteor was just a whole tier above, and the shotgun is even better. Yeah, seats are really bad on it though, extremely uncomfortable seats, both for the rider and the pillion. But I guess that's bound to happen on a cafe racer like look, because you sacrifice some logical bits for better design. Alrighty guys, so we're almost home. I'll see you all in the next one.